Hi everybody, this is Angelica. How are you today? Today I kind of wanted to talk about some of the processes that I've been currently working through. And the reason I have this channel is to kind of go through the things that I'm going through or teach you things that I know and to hopefully help you guys if you're going through something similar, or hopefully there's something that I say that can help to push you further along in your journey and towards peace, love, happiness, abundance, all the wonderful things that we can experience now. And that's one of the big things that I wanted to talk about with you currently is the now moment. And this is like, we hear things over the years like so much, and then we just don't really embody them or really get them until later. And this now moment thing, I can remember the first time I heard about it. Actually, the first time I heard about it was when somebody gave me the book Be Here Now, and by Ram Dass. I think that's who wrote it. And I looked through it and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And like I can remember back then, this had to have been maybe 10 years ago. I can remember back then being like, wow, what's this book about? This is kind of a weird book. It's kind of an interesting book. But I just didn't get it at all what Be Here Now meant. And so it made no sense to me really at all. I was just like, oh yeah, that's a nice concept, cool. I looked through the book and was like, whoa, this is a little bit weird. So the second time I heard about being in the now, it was, I read what's it called? The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Now, for some reason, I could really relate with how he wrote. He writes in a way that I can really understand. Now, he's very logical, yet I understood what he was saying very easily. And when I read The Power of Now, I started crying. And the reason I started crying, and I am an emotional person. I can be emotional, and that's okay. Everyone is different. Some are more analytical, and some are more emotional. Myself, I kind of feel things. I feel everything really intensely, and so being that way makes me get a little bit more emotional about things, and so I really feel things. And anyway, I read The Power of Now. And I immediately started crying. And the reason being is that I realized how far I was from truly being here now. I'm looking back on it, I think that's why it had such an impact on me. Not only was I crying for that, but I was crying because I was scared. Like, oh my gosh, like, I'm too scared to live in the now moment. That seems really scary to me. And, I guess looking back on it, it's just one of those moments where you realize that everything you've learned from this world, from being here, is all wrong. And like that new concept to me, not it is all wrong, but pretty much a big percentage of it is very incorrect thinking that we have placed upon us from our society. But this concept of the power of now, and like just even hearing it was like, oh my gosh, what? Like I just couldn't even fathom this idea. And like I said, this wasn't too long after I got Be Here Now. So there was a theme starting, and I think I read The Power of Now a few years later, when I started going on my spiritual awakening, which was very difficult and still can be very difficult for me. So now here I am, 10 years later from first hearing the concept of being here now. And over the years have really gone over this theme and gone over this thought and the feeling being here now. And the more and more I've had to practice this, the better I have become at it. And, you know, it's frustrating that things take so long to happen. I mean, wow, 10 years ago, you'd think I just get to read this, you know, be here now, and then I'm here now. No, that's not how it works, unfortunately. Sometimes when you hear a new concept, it can take years and years to actually set in, and it also depends on where you're at. So for me, it was like a huge, whoa, you know, being here now in my body, in this physical body. I used to always fly around. I could leave my body really easily and fly here to be with this person, or fly there and be with that person, or go there and heal this person. Like, I used to go and like heal people that would allow me to, but I would go and be with them spiritually. But then, like in about 2008, I had this really powerful experience when I was in Hawaii, and I was actually called out to Hawaii for a certain reason, and now that I'm bringing this up, I realized why I was called out to Hawaii. And I was with one of my good friends, Amber, and she told me, she come over and she said, I don't know, she was channeling, you know, God, or channeling, she says, I'm channeling this right now, and I don't know why I have to tell you this, but this is the reason that I came over, is that you need to come into your body. I get emotional talking about it. It doesn't seem like an emotional thing, but it's almost like I got called to Hawaii for this to happen. You need to quit flying around out there, and like, I never told her this, so I don't know how she knew that, but you need to come out from there and come into your body fully. And see, it makes me emotional still. It seems so weird. Like, why would that make me emotional? And I remember she's like, that's all I have to tell you. I'm leaving now. And I was like, what? You can't leave now? Like, what? Like, this is too much information for me to handle right now. And I remember driving around the island of Maui and just like crying and crying and crying. And I could have drove for hours just crying. Like, what? I have to come into my body? I feel so free being out there and being able to, you know, wander around and talk to people and stuff. And I can still do that, you know. But I didn't realize that I thought that that would all be cut off. And so I came into my body, and it was so hard for me. That's the moment it snapped, and I came into my body. And I've been living in my physical body since that time. So it is now 2013, so I'd say that was about 5 years ago. And it has been extremely difficult for me because the world has always been a difficult place for me to be in. It just seems so foreign to me, and it was so easy for me to leave the body. Like, I had the body, but I was split off from it, and it was so much easier to be there than in this physical body. But I realized I couldn't help others the way that I really wanted to help them if I was out there, you know, traveling around in the ethers or wherever I was. Anyway, so the being here now idea has really, I felt like another release this morning where it's really hit me that you know, I can remember when she first brought this up to me, and the next day I was going to work and I was like walking, and I was like, okay, I'm walking down the sidewalk. Like, I would have to tell myself these things, like these, I'm in my body now and I'm moving, you know, and I had to feel what that felt like. It was so weird. It was weird, and I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but this is what I have been through. So this morning I had a really huge another emotional like release where I realized that living in the past, which is non-existent, and living in the future, which is non-existent, will never bring anything into your life fully. In order to fully embrace what it is that you know you can have in the now moment, you have to be here now to experience that. So sometimes maybe it's an escape thing where you can go off. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what it is, but this is again why meditation is so helpful. Meditation allows us to be fully in our body in the present moment. And the exciting thing about this is that the past and the future all are here now. So trippy for me to think about it like that. But it's true. So you don't have to think, you know, all these things are here now. This is all the now moment. So, wow. So I didn't realize that that was what I was going to talk about. I knew I wanted to talk about being in the now. So today I had this experience where the energy of all the past and the future was just like coursing through my body, and I could feel like really alive, and I felt these like pulsating like waves of like electricity. And you know, I so much want to feel that all the time. But when we are not feeling that way, when we're not feeling, you know, tapped into the universal forces and allowing that to move through our bodies, then we're at a block. We're blocking something. We're resisting something. We're not allowing things to just be. Meaning, we're probably not meditating. And even in meditation, it can be hard to get to that space of just allowing. But it takes a little while, and if you do it long enough, you will get to that space, and you'll start to live it in your everyday life. But if we're at a block and we keep trying to fix it, we keep trying to think, how can I do this? Can I do it this way or that way or what? You know, it's not going to work. We have to just allow. And sometimes that'll mean releasing. That'll mean crying. And that's okay. You know, we have to just go with the flow of the moment and allow ourselves to be everything that we are. We don't have to hold back anything that we are. We are beautiful beings of light, and we're here to love each other and to be happy. And so, you know, just we can let it all go. We can just be here and be here now and be happy with that. So I don't want to make the video too long, but I just wanted to tell everyone that I love you, and I feel really thankful and happy that I can talk about these things with you, and hopefully they help you too. And I'm just really blessed to be able to do this and to be here now. Okay, well, thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.